annual awards is no doubt one of the most significant events in the history of HKIA. This event is intended to give recognitions to our fellow architects and their corporations for their achievement in architecture, as well as their contribution to the built environment of Hong Kong. This year, we also received a large number of nominations, and they're all very high quality submissions. So I'm sure everyone here is very anxious for the prize presentation. So let's get started. But before we get to that, let's welcome our guest of honor tonight, Mrs. Carrie Lam JP, Secretaries of Development of Hong Kong SAR, to give a speech to kick off tonight's event. May I invite Mrs. Carrie Lam.
Anna, Patrick, yes, ladies and gentlemen, it gives me great pleasure to join you here at this very prestigious annual event of the Hong Kong Institute of Architects, which is an occasion for us all to commend the distinguished work of the Hong Kong's architects. As I walk around the panels to look at the various winning entries, I spoke to our honorable member, Patrick Lau, who of course represents the architectural profession in Hong Kong, that after all, maybe Hong Kong's building code is not that bad because it could still allow all these wonderful, greatly designed buildings to materialize. Because I have been hearing too many complaints about a very obsolete building code in Hong Kong. I'm not sure whether my director of building is around. But on a very serious note, I'm actually very encouraged in the last 2 years as a Secretary for Development to learn so much about the distinguished work of Hong Kong's architects, of our landscape architects, and also of our urban designers. I think they add interest and excitement to Hong Kong's cityscape and also our urban fabrics. In this particular year, I have already told Anna, your president, that I want to take this occasion to particularly commend the Hong Kong Institute of Architects for creating a new category of awards, the alterations and additions category. Because personally, I see a lot of potential in transforming buildings through A&A. In our official sense, we also have a category called AA&I. Isn't that true, Yu Jihan? We have a category called AA&I, alterations, additions, and improvement. But they are by definition very minor items, costing very little, and so it could be done through a term contractor or minor work item. I don't think our AA&I has actually released the potential of alterations and additions that could make to Hong Kong's building fabric. And that's why I'm very pleased to be here to join you at this award ceremony, which at least by my count, there are 3 winning entries this year, which actually could come under the AA category. First is, of course, this grand prize of transforming a vacant, flatted factory building into Hong Kong's first creative arts center, generously funded by the Hong Kong Jockey Club. I always remember to thank the Hong Kong Jockey Club whenever William is there. And the second building that I have discovered is, of course, our building, particularly on heritage, the transformation of the disused police station in Ping San into the Ping San Gallery and also the Heritage Trail. And finally is the building that actually comes under the A&A category this year in turning surplus car parks, or floors of car parks, into wonderful service for the community. So as I said, I see a lot of potential of Hong Kong using more of alterations and additions to improve our buildings, to revitalize our buildings, and to give our buildings a new lease of life. Because from an environmental point of view, it's perhaps not the right way to demolish buildings and generate lots and lots of construction waste, which causes damage to Hong Kong's environment. And I would do my little part in providing the needed facilitation of the environment to be more conducive to alterations and additions. For example, we are reviewing the urban renewal strategy. to strike a needed balance between the so-called 4R, whether we should go for redevelopment, preservation, or revitalization, or rehabilitation of buildings. And secondly, as the principal official responsible for heritage conservation, we are doing a lot of revitalization of historic buildings. So I invited the president to create a new category of award, maybe 2-3 years down the road, for under the heritage heading, but for adaptive reuse. So as old buildings being given a new lease of life, will then compete amongst themselves for the award under heritage buildings. And I'm also working very hard on industrial buildings. I've gone to Fortan and other areas to look at how innovatively people have made use of industrial buildings. So from a policy point of view, I'll try to work harder on preserving more of Hong Kong's historic industrial building blocks for our architects to display your imagination and your creativity. So once again, let me thank the Hong Kong IA and all your supporters for organizing this annual event. And I congratulate each and every winner tonight. And hope in the next year we will have another batch of wonderful projects for Hong Kong Temple Retail Life. Thank you very much.